Recently I've had werewolves on my mind. Today I thought I'd do a top 5 best werewolf movies. In the comments below, tell me what your top 5 werewolf movies are. Number 5, Underworld: Rise of the Lycans. I chose this one because it has a great storyline, first of all. I chose that because it's got more werewolves in it. It's based more around werewolves. I guess one of the main subplots of the movie is how werewolves have evolved. How before Lucian was around, once you were bitten, you couldn't change back, and yet when Lucian was born, he was born human. And whenever he bit someone, they were able to change back from human to a werewolf and so on. Number 4 is Skinwalkers. Now, I know straight away the name tells you it's not werewolves, but it is. Okay, in the film they just call themselves Skinwalkers, but they do say that they are werewolves. In some cultures it's just another term for werewolves, or lycanthropes or whatever. Skinwalkers takes a different tone with the whole werewolf legends. It's not, okay, we can bite a human and you'll be turned. Instead it's humans and these creatures are just separated by a single gene that you can be born with. You don't have to be bitten or scratched, you can simply be born with this odd gene. That's why it's number 4, because it takes a different route with it. Sure, it's got some obvious, I hate saying that because it is a good movie, but it's got some obvious plot lines, you know, like this family of werewolves trying to protect this kid who could save us all and cure us all, and I guess cure for lycanthropy is one of the biggest themes that you will find in a lot of werewolf films. And not only does it take a different approach to the whole werewolf legend, but one of my favourite parts about this film is the fact that they are, in a way, biker werewolves. Number 3 is Ginger Snaps, the very first one. Now I know a lot of people prefer the second one. I do like the second one. The second one is very good, and so is the third one. But I believe that the first one is the best because it's not your usual werewolf story. It's, how can I describe it? It's not your usual adult film. It is about teenage girls and their lady problems, and how it ties in with the whole werewolf thing, which I found was very clever. Like Skinwalkers, it takes a very different route with the whole werewolf aspect of the film. The change, I think, is what makes this film stand out. They don't go really quick or hugely painful like in most werewolf movies. Instead, what you see is this prolonged transformation and how it changes you. And in so many ways, this film, using the werewolf aspect, is talking about puberty. And I know that's not what everyone goes to see it for, but that's what makes this film stand out, because it uses the two themes and pushes them together and shows how similar they are. But what makes it really stand out is the change, and how you see Ginger, the girl who gets bitten, how she goes through the change, how first of all it's her attitude and her clothes, and then slowly features start changing. You know, she gets the teeth, the claws, she has teats growing up her, her face forms and her hair goes white, and by the end of the film you see her fully transform, and it's just amazing. And they also use the whole cure theme in it, trying to work out how to make a cure, if it's even possible. And they use Wolfbane for it. Number 2, as you should all be expecting, is An American Werewolf in London. Now, I'm not going to go off and talk about, oh yes, I know the werewolf looks like a dog, but that's not the point. Okay, American Werewolf in London is one of the best werewolf films possibly to date. because of the transformation, because of the just the sheer amazement of it. This film was ahead of its time in many ways. Transformation is one of the most memorable scenes in film history. A lot of you are probably sitting there going, oh, hold on, isn't American Werewolf in Paris the better one? And no, it's not, because American Werewolf in Paris is crap. Crap in the sense that they just went overboard with the whole idea, and two, because it was CGI. Nobody likes CGI, especially not in werewolf films. What makes this film brilliant, what makes American Werewolf in London brilliant, is because it's ahead of its time. Transformation scene. Yes, okay, the werewolf looked like a dog, but it was scary. It was real. It was right in front of you. That's what you had to be scared of. And so the fear you see in the actor's eyes is real. One of the biggest things that this film did was the fact that if you're killed by a werewolf, you can be seen by werewolves. That really opened up the werewolf genre to, in a way, to a wider view of the whole lycanthrope myth. The idea of seeing your kills is very clever. It's a guilt trip that so many heroes in other films or in other books have gone through, and it was a clever idea to bring it to the werewolf genre. Number one is, as my friends will all know, is Dog Soldiers. Dog Soldiers by Neil Marshall was one of the best werewolf films ever. It is the best werewolf film ever. I don't care what anyone says. It is. It's British, it's in Scotland, which is probably the best place you could possibly have werewolves in Britain. It's not a werewolf movie with soldiers, it's a soldier movie with werewolves, as Neil Marshall said. It's amazing. It's different to what you... Some people won't agree with me, but it is different. It's so different to a lot of werewolf movies. It's a proper standoff between man and beast, which you don't actually see a lot in films. Or seeing a main character or someone ending up as werewolf and then trying to fight it and all this. But in this movie, it straight up tells you, werewolves are the bad guys, soldiers are the goodies. Well, most of them. It is the best werewolf movie possible. Like I said with American Werewolf in London, the fear that you see in these actors' eyes are real. There is no CGI, it's all people in suits. When I first watched this film, I was really young and it scared me absolutely shitless. However, I was so hooked on it because I loved it, I kept scaring myself over and over again and just kept watching this film. It was so addictive. Everything about this film is believable, and that is what makes it the best werewolf film ever. The film is perfect because it's not werewolf fantasy. It's not like Underworld. It's not like an American Werewolf in London. Oh, we're in the wrong place at the wrong time. Oh, now we've dropped a werewolf into like one of the major cities of the UK. It's not an accident or whatever. It's just so believable, so real that these people could be up in Scotland. Just everything about this film you believe. And that is what makes it the best film, the best werewolf film ever. Those are my top 5 werewolf movies. I hope you enjoyed this. I want to know what your top 5 are in the comments, so leave that below. I'll probably be doing more videos like this soon. Like this video and leave the comments below. Thanks. Bye. With the upcoming of my book, I have created a author channel. So I will link that in the description below. Go check out my first video. So if you want to keep up with me and what I do as an author, then you can go subscribe to that channel. On this channel I will be doing other random things.